Join me as I set up a goldfish aquarium. The first thing you need to do is select the right aquarium you wish to use. Here we have two 4-foot aquariums. They're stood end up. They could be used. This 1-foot cubed aquarium is far too small, so this one cannot be used. Even this plastic tub could be used. You can even use a kid's play pool. Whatever you use, the bigger the better. Whatever you do choose to use, make sure it doesn't have a hole in like this tank here. The tank I've chosen to use will be a 4-foot by 2-foot by 2-foot aquarium, which is 450 litres. It's going to need a strong stand to hold it, so I will be doing my concrete blocks and wood technique. The tank will also need a simple background, so I'm using cheap acrylic paint I got from, I think it was Home Bargains, and using that to paint the tank, making sure that I don't get any inside the tank. Large aquariums such as this are very heavy even without water, so make sure you've got someone to lift it with you, or better yet, get other people to lift it like I did. I got my baby brother and my dad to lift it. When you're placing an aquarium like this, straight down on its stand, you need something between it and the stand. So if there's any imperfections, like little bumps or cracks in the wood, it won't cause the grass to crack underneath that immense pressure of the weight. So I use yoga mats slash fitness mats, which are dirt cheap from anywhere. The next thing you're going to need will be a simple light. Now you can use floodlights, you could use natural light from the sun. Now, since this room it's in, which is the room behind my fish room, doesn't get much light, I've gone for a cheap Hygger light off of Amazon. Now, I say cheap, only cheap because it didn't cost a lot of money, but these lights are fantastic. I've got them on all my tanks throughout the fish room, just smaller versions. I do have a 4-foot one on the 4-foot grow out tank. Let's shed some light on the situation. The next thing we're going to need will be a heater. And yes, you did hear me right, I did say need, as I'm a firm believer that all goldfish tanks need a heater, not necessarily to heat the tank, but in order to maintain a temperature, because temperature fluctuations for the goldfish are the biggest issue. Goldfish will be happy at 10 degrees or at 24 degrees. But what they won't be very happy with is 10 degrees in the morning and 24 degrees in the evening. They like a consistent temperature. Now, I'm very lucky because Hygger actually sent me a heater for free in order to do a video on it. I'm not as lucky because I've also bought two heaters, and a lot of my equipment, such as the light, are also Hygger. So thanking them for reaching out to me and providing me with a free heater. The funny thing is, I bought them anyway. In my fish room, I choose to heat the entire room because I've got lots of smaller aquariums in there, and placing a heater in each will be extremely expensive with purchasing the heaters, and also just plugging them all in will use more electricity than it costs to heat the entire room using one oil radiator. Now, in this room is going to only have three 4-foot aquariums, so I will be placing Hygger heaters in all of them. And the reason I've chosen this Hygger heater is, well, its wattage is perfect for an aquarium this size. Also, it's one of the few heaters that will go all the way down to 15 degrees and also go all the way up to, I believe is it 30? It's 32 degrees. Double check that, make sure I got it right. No, it goes all the way up to 34 degrees. Now, I'm not going to be going anywhere near that hot. I will only be going down as low as 15 degrees in the winter, and in the summer, I'll be going all the way up to 24 degrees. The other good thing about this heater, if you're a seasonal fish keeper like me that likes having my fish going through seasons, is the bit that changes the temperature is outside of the tank. It's a little controller unit that is outside of the tank. So when I'm changing the temperature, I don't have to get in the tank and fiddle with the end of the heater in order to change the temperature. It's on the outside. It also displays the temperature on the outside of the tank as well. Now, I find that's very helpful, but I'll also be using my good old trusty temperature gun. So, yes, I do believe you do need a heater inside your goldfish aquarium. You need one to maintain a temperature. You don't need it to heat the water, you need it to maintain a temperature. Because you could have your aquarium, you could be saying, well, my house is the same temperature all day. That's very unlikely it's the same temperature all day unless you heat or air condition it through the night. The heater is in fact extremely well boxed. There we are, the instruction manual, which, to be honest, I'm one of them people that won't read the instruction manual. I'll just guess and see what happens. We have the heater itself, okay, with a long cable. Well, that is 1H heater. Now, the heater, another reason I like this one, it's inside a plastic cage, so it will protect the fish if they decide to swim into it, which, like my Ryukin, are pretty stupid. They will swim into anything. So this will protect them if they choose to swim into the heater. The other thing I like about this, now I do large water changes every single day, and I would also forget to turn this off. So this heater will drop, the water level will drop below the heater. This heater's got an auto shut off so it won't explode, which is fantastic because I've had heaters explode when I've been doing water changes and forget to turn them off. It's been a good 20 years since I've done something that stupid, but I can guarantee it will probably happen again on one of my tanks that doesn't have one of these until I upgrade to heaters that have auto shut offs. The next thing I'm going to need in the tank will be water. Now that the tank is full of water, we're going to turn on the heater and bring the tank up to temperature. Okay, so here we have it. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, what have we done wrong? Let's press buttons on it. Okay, so, here we are. So it wants to set a temperature. So we will set it for 16 degrees, which is the current temperature of the tank that the fish are coming from. Okay, so it's now heating. Okay, so there's the heater. And we've got something displaying LL. Now, I don't know what that is, as I have not read the instruction booklet, because that's the sort of person I am. So here we have the instruction booklet. So have a quick look. Oh, English 1 to 6. Good. Okay. Okay, so the code it's displaying is a code that says the temperature of the water is below 15 degrees, which it is. The temperature of this tank is currently at probably 11 degrees because it's just come straight out the tap. So once we've raised the temperature to above 15 degrees, the LL will disappear and it is heating. So I will come back once it's heated to that temperature. It has now reached its minimum temperature of 15 degrees, and I've got another satisfying thing to peel off, so we'll peel that off. So it's currently at 15.3 degrees, and it's going to slowly rise to 16 degrees. Now, it's very easy to set the temperature on this. So if I want to keep it at 16 degrees, I would just not press any more buttons. If I want to change it to 16.5, I can, or I can just cycle all the way through from 15 degrees to 34 degrees. So we're going to cycle back all the way round to 16 degrees. So yeah, 15, 15.5, 16 degrees. So you can set it in half a degree intervals. Yep, back to heating. Now when this number gets to 16, the heat light will go off. So I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so it's reached temperature, and then it will allow it to drop down half a degree, then reheat it back up. The next thing we're going to need is a lid for this, which will help maintain the temperature and stop evaporation. Now, the cheapest aquarium lids you can find are these cheap twin wall polycarb sheets you can get at B&Q. You just need an adult to cut them. I am an adult, but when I cut these, I did end up cutting the table a little bit. So my dad cut these for me because I'm an idiot. So here we have two very simple lids. Satisfying pulling that off. Okay, nothing on the other side. They've been cut to the exact size. There's one. And here's the, easy to remove, yeah, right. Okay. One of the next things we're going to need will be aeration and filtration. Now luckily I've got them both in the same objects, sponge filters. I will be using 4 of these sponge filters, 2 at each end, to filter this aquarium, which is very simple. You get some airline, you have a bit of airline, stick it down into the sponge filter, connect it up like that, connect it in, get an air pump. Now you can get air pumps dirt cheap off Amazon. Now this room will eventually be on a central air system, so I will have an airline dropping from the ceiling, but I don't have that set up yet because I'm not very organised and I've chosen to set the tank up before setting up the airline. So I'll be running it off pumps like this, stick it in one end, turn it on, and up will become bubbles. Now these aren't the filters I will be using. I will be using seasoned filters from the tanks that are currently holding the fish. Always remember when filling up a new aquarium or doing a water change to add water conditioner. You can use any brands, just make sure you follow the instructions and you make sure that it does what you need it to do. So this one will remove chlorine, chloramine and heavy metals, so it's absolutely perfect, but other brands are perfectly fine. I've used all other brands before. And make sure you follow the correct dosage for the size of your aquarium. You don't have to use a syringe like me. You can use the lid or whatever measuring tool you wish. Just make sure you do dose the aquarium. There we have the tank set up. If you don't have pre-seeded filters that have got beneficial bacteria, I recommend that you go buy some beneficial bacteria in a bottle. Many different companies supply it. I'll show a few of the ones I recommend here right now. Let's go get the fish and add them to the tank. Where to get your fancy goldfish from? Now if you're here in England and you're after imported goldfish, go to pingpongpearlscales.com. He is the best goldfish importer in England. He also offers English bred pearl scale goldfish that are bred at his facility in Bristol. But if you're looking for other UK bred fish, if you're looking for Ryukin, you can always contact me. I've got a Ryukin I'm breeding and I'll be breeding more, so if I've got any left, you're more than welcome to contact me. Or you're more than welcome to go to one of the auctions hosted by Goldfish Society. That's where I got some of the fish from this video. Here's 3 of the fish that will be going in the aquarium. So these 3 I got from an auction. They are bred by award-winning breeder Graham. We also have these 4 Ryukin Goldfish that I also got from the same auction, also bred by award-winning breeder Graham. These 2 Ryukin Goldfish from the best goldfish importer in England, Ping Pong Pearl Scales. Last, but definitely not least, the goldfish Lucky that I bred myself in 2023, who won the AMGK Goldfish Show first place Ryukin bred the year before. Let's see if we can catch the fish and get them ready. I'm going to be doing this one-handed, so I will probably get the phone wet or fall in the tank myself. Ready, steady, go. Okay. Got one. One. There's the other. Now to catch these 3. 1, 2, 3. Time to catch these 4. Ready, steady. 1, 2, 3. There's 4. And the 4's a nice white one. There we are. 4. Okay, let's go put those next to the others. There you have it, setting up a simple fancy goldfish aquarium. Now, I'm a firm believer in there is no magic number of goldfish to litre size. I'm a firm believer that it depends on how much maintenance you wish to do. So with this tank, with its current stocking levels, I would have to do a water change every 2 to 3 days and do 50%. But I feed a lot, so I give this tank a 30% water change daily. Now, if you like goldfish and you have your own, either you've bred or bought them and you wish to enter them into an online goldfish show, please check out my website, englishaquarist.com, to sign up for our free online goldfish show. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video.